episode 3470, The Art of Showing Up.
Moms, it's time to rediscover, rejuvenate, and renew who you are in mind, body, and spirit. Welcome to Create Your Now, Your Best Selfie, the show to help you do just that. Here's your host, certified life coach, personal trainer, and nutritionist, Christiane Wargo.
Happy day. It's Friday. Yay. Let's raise the roof because, yes, it's Confessions of an Upset Mama. And you know what? Sometimes you just got to be upset in order to get things moving. I mean, obviously, in the right way. For us here as parents, it's the art of showing up. For those of you who are brand new to Create Your Now, welcome to this incredible family. I'm so delighted of your presence. If you already had the opportunity, you'll want to head on over to createyournow.com where you can learn more and sign up for the Kisses newsletter, the Keep It Simple strategy, everyday solutions to live, love, and impact. Well, this episode is brought to you by AIM, inspiring connection and community. All right, are you ready for the weekend? I mean, come on. Don't you just like it when you feel like you can let your hair down? Okay, maybe you have short hair, but regardless of whether it's long, short, or maybe you wear a wig, no judgment here. It's Confession Day. And I want us to really think about what we're doing as a mom, how we're handling life as a dad. You know, because in everyday life, parents often find themselves juggling numerous responsibilities while trying to be present for their children. How many times have you found yourself cooking dinner, trying to have a conversation with your child or two or three? Maybe you got the TV going or you got some music playing, the doorbell rings, and your phone goes off as a text message. And you're supposed to balance all of this, right? And you're like, I've got to get dinner on. Somehow you're getting through, maybe. Are you really paying attention to your children? However, simply being physically present is not always enough for our kiddos. It is the art of showing up. You know, parents may think they are always there for their child, but upon closer inspection, where we look and we peel back the layers, we begin to realize that true presence requires more than just physical proximity. It's not just about the boundaries. It's not just about being in the same four walls that you share. It's not about you being in the kitchen and they're in their bedroom doing homework, or they're outside kind of playing with their friends, but you're still there. Maybe you're working out in the garage. How much of your day is truly dedicated to being fully engaged with your child? Now, before you jump to that answer, I really want you to think about it. When I mean fully engaged, that means you don't have anything else to do. Seriously, you're not cleaning the toilets. You're not doing laundry. You're not cooking a meal. You're not vacuuming. You're not getting yourself ready for bed. You're not taking out the trash. You are in the presence of your child. It's Confession Day, so be careful how you answer. Also, what about this? How often do you set aside distractions? Put away, your devices and focus all your attention on your little one. Now, your little one may be in their teens or maybe young adulthood. What is it? I want you to think about that. Because just yesterday, my son called me and he said, "Hey, Mom, I want to talk to you." I said, "Okay, we're dealing with the situation and it was fine. We got through it. No big deal. It's, it's just part of growing up, right?" And so then he's like, "Oh yeah, and I wanted to tell you this." So he began to tell me something but before we got to that conversation, he put me on FaceTime. First, it was just ear to ear. Then it was FaceTime. And so we were talking and he's like, "Oh yeah, before I forget, I want to tell you this." And on he goes. Now, this is my youngest son. He's a young man, yes. He's technically an adult, but they're still learning all of these things. But you know how it is with your boys? They usually like to get to the point. They don't sit here and like to tell you all the fluff around the whole story. They just want to tell you the short part of the story that really matters, right? The gut of it. And then you're done. And then they leave. They're like, "Okay, I'm done talking to you, Mom. Got to go do other things." Oh, no, not today. Oh, no. He wanted to tell me everything and then some. And I was like, wow. Guess what? I had to make sure I was fully engaged with him. I didn't want to leave him hanging. I wanted to make sure he knew it. Now, understand, he wasn't in my presence. He wasn't within my own four walls. We were FaceTiming. But I wanted him to know that I was there. And a couple times I was like, oh, wait, I can look. And I'm like, no, I cannot. I was even charging my phone. I had it turned upside down. So when I was looking, I made sure I looked down at the camera because the camera was technically at the bottom at this point, and I had the speaker up at the top because I was charging. Anyway, I know the details, right? But I want you to understand, right? We live in a world filled with constant stimuli and distractions all the time, all the time. I mean, I could be in your ear right now and you could have a child in front of you and you're listening more to me than you are to them. Now, if you have to, guess what? Put me on pause and listen to them. Because yes, I care about your child that much. They need your undivided attention. And it truly is challenging to carve out those moments of undivided attention for our kiddos because, well, we can do all the things. We can sit here and go shopping and tell Amazon to drop something from the drone in front of our house by tomorrow at 8 o'clock in the morning. Or we can have groceries delivered that same night so we can actually cook a meal. Or maybe we're texting our mom or whatever saying, hey, this is what happened today. What happened at your doctor appointment? Maybe your husband walks in and you're like, hey, what happened today? Did you have a great day? And all of a sudden now you've got 3 conversations going on, none of which you're paying attention to. We think we're present, but most of the time we're absent. But fear not, I tell you, fear not. There is hope. There are ways to cultivate genuine presence and connection with your child. And we got to go back to the foundation. To truly show up in your child's life, you must be not only physically present, but also emotionally engaged and attuned to their needs, which means you got to create a deeper connection. And you can do that through many ways. That is your Kiss to Keep It Simple strategy. Create a deeper connection. One way you can do this through emotional engagement, which means that it's not all about being physically present in the room. You need to be invested in your whole child, emotionally, physically, spiritually, psychologically, and relationally. You want to be able to hit all 5 senses of your child so they know you are present. The more senses you stimulate, the greater the engagement. So what are you doing to stimulate your child? Allowing them to know that you are truly present with them. What does it look like in real life? How do you let them know that, hey, mama's here? Number 1, practice active listening. Take the time to truly listen to your child without any distractions. Put away your phone. That means, yes, turn me off when you're listening to your child. Make eye contact. Did you know your child has eyes? I know, you're kind of probably laughing like, Christiane, that's really kind of stupid, really. I get it. But when was the last time you looked at your child's eyes? Seriously. Like literally looked into their eyes. Most people don't anymore. When you do that, oh my goodness, it will light up their life. There's a connection there when eyes meet. That's why it's important for us to have that human connection. We were created on a relational basis. Now, I can go down that road, but I'm not going to. I don't want to digress. It's a great conversation. But you've got to have genuine interest in what they have to say. Listening is an act of love that speaks louder than words. Are you listening? Are you extending your heart to them because your ears are open? Number 2, create physical connection. It's not about the amount of time you spend with your child. I mean, that's great. If you can spend all day with them, that's wonderful. But even when you go on vacation, it's not 24/7. It just doesn't work that way. But it is the quality of time. Make meaningful connections by engaging in activities that both you and your child enjoy. That means you are being very intentional as a parent, looking for opportunities to connect on a physical level. A lot of times we're not. My other son, I have 3 sons and 2 daughters. So my 4 or 5 son, he is doing an internship this summer. Last summer, he was in Texas. This summer, he's actually outside of Washington, D.C., doing an internship. And last year, we flew him back home for 4th of July. And this year is a little bit crazier because of how the holiday fell, it was like, well, I don't know that we can really get you here. And technically, he really needed to work that Friday. And so we talked about it, and my husband and I decided that, hey, why don't you go out there and spend time? I've got to do some stuff here at the house, keep the renovation project moving forward. You go spend time with him. We booked a plane, and off he went. Spent 4.5 or so days with him. It was fabulous. Okay. We were very intentional about creating that connection with him. No, he's not gone long, but he still misses his family. He doesn't know anybody out there. And he's kind of caught in this world, which he's learning, and it's great, and he's navigating that. But you want to be with the people that you love the most. So we made a decision intentionally to create that physical connection. Are you doing that with your children? Maybe it's that mom and daughter date or mom and son date. It could be a dad and daughter date, whatever. It could be a grandma and grandson date. What is it for you? You got to create that physical connection. And if you're saying, Christine, we live too far, that is fine. But plan it. If it's going to be a year out, plan it. Be intentional about what you're going to do. It's very important. And finally, number 3, be present with unspoken love. This is one that I think some people scratch their head. They're like, what? Unspoken love? Well, in this case, you use actions, not words. Maybe it's a kiss on the cheek or a hug as they leave the house. It might be a sweet note written on the bathroom mirror or a note in their lunchbox. Maybe it's just, a sweet pat on the back. Or literally you take up their laundry and you fold it for them and you set it on their bed. And you're like, no, I'm doing their chores. At times, yes, I could say that and agree with you on that point. But what if it's during finals and you do that? Totally speaks something differently, doesn't it? Let your actions match your heart. Showing up for your child goes beyond mere physical presence. Yes, it's important. We've already talked about that, right? That physical connection. But it's not about just, I'm in the house with you. I'm hanging outside. No, how are you hanging outside? Right? Dad, if you're sitting there on the recliner and you're doing your reels and your kid's playing blocks on the floor, you are not present with your child. I'm just calling you out on it. Mom, if you're doing the dishes and you got your sweet little girl sitting on the counter talking to you and she's playing with toys, you are not fully present with your child. Yes, you're there, but you're not engaged. The key word here is engagement. So it requires us as parents to have this conscious effort to be emotionally available, attentive, and engaged. It's not about, oh yeah, I'm here. Oh, great. Nice to see you. Yeah, mom's home. Where is she? I don't know. She's in one of these rooms. Go find her. So let me ask you this. What are you doing to engage with your child? I want you to seriously think about that. Now, you don't have to answer it now out loud. I want you to think about it. You know, when you're doing and cooking dinner over the weekend, maybe you're out grilling. I mean, we've had nothing but rain this week. I like it, but I had to turn the sprinkler system off so I didn't have a flood in my yard. And we have so much water. I'm like, enough is enough. But if you can be outside and you have the opportunity to grill, fabulous. What are you doing to engage with your child during that time? Are you going outside and playing ball? Maybe you're spending time. Maybe your child's about ready to go off to college. Can you believe it? We're almost there. Yes, can you believe it? Next week, it's going to hit August. Kind of scary when you think about it. I was looking through pictures because, of course, as you know, we're under renovations here. And it's looking great. I'm going to have to take some pictures and show you guys some behind the scenes. But we've been in this mess for a very long time. It's a long story. I'm not going into it. If you've been with me from like the last 3.5 years or so, you've heard sprinkles of this story with water, and water should not be raining on the inside of your walls, and you shouldn't have to deal with the insurance people the way you have to deal with them, but it is what it is. And you got the pandemic, and you got supply chain issues, and you've got just issues because the house is a little bit older and you have to source it out and find the stuff. And then you have life that happens. You have deaths that occur. You have contractors that aren't as on as they're supposed to be, and they have their own issues and their own personal things they have to deal with. I mean, I could go on and on. But in all of this mess with the renovations, right, I still have to find time to be a mom to my kiddos. I still have to find time to show up for them. Because a lot of times, I can sit here and have all the best intention, but still have no connection to my children. And unfortunately, I see that way too often now in families. They say, oh yeah, we're so close. Really? I know we are. And I know why we are. Because I was a very intentional parent at the very beginning. Oh no, I worked outside the home. But let me tell you, when I was home, I was a mama. I was all hands on deck. Oh wait, but I also volunteered at church. I did things with the kids at church, not just my own kids, but the kids at church. I also was the worship leader many times over. Then I created these big, huge, anyway, we'll go into all that later, right? All the little sprinkles of life. But let me tell you, I was always their mom first. Always. And if I had other demands, guess what? It came after my kids went to bed. I would go shopping for groceries at 11 o'clock at night. After I put my kids to bed, after my husband was asleep, I went grocery shopping. Why? I didn't want to drag them with me. I wanted to be fully present with them. I was intentional. What can you do more to engage with your child? How can you switch up your schedule? You have a few weeks left of summer. What does that look like for your family? I'm not saying you have to go take a family vacation. Hey, it'd be nice. I don't get one. My family vacation is getting my house renovated and getting it finished so that maybe by fall, I have a finished house. Oh, it'll be so nice. I am so excited. The bathtub's going to be going in. Well, not quite yet. The tile goes in next. That's the big thing. But I literally have no holes in my master bathroom right now. I've been living with that for so long. But let me tell you, I did not let all of that craziness in my life take away from everything that my children needed me for. I've had multiple graduations, high school and college, and postgraduate graduation. We've had weddings, all with this craziness going on at my house. But that did not make it any less than. We've had 2 grandchildren in this mess. Do you see what I'm talking about of being intentional? We're not doing it, Mom. We're not doing it, Dad. We're not doing it enough. We try, but we are so distracted, and I get it. So am I. I could sit here and talk to you for hours. I could sit here and work on the website. I could sit here and work on the book. I could sit here and work on the other ebooks that I'm doing for the TV show. We've got so many things moving. But my priority is to be a mama. And I want to be there for my kiddos. So decide on one thing and go in that direction for your kid. And it may be different for each kid, right? I've got 5 and I got 2 grandbabies. So I've got to figure out what works for each of them. I see some more than others. I talk to some more on text than I do versus a phone call. So be creative. Create your now for your child. You can deepen your connection with your children. Spread your love by showing up. Go in peace. Be present. Be incredible. Be you. I love you so very much. I cannot wait to see you on the other side. Blessings, hugs, and lots of love. We'll talk to you real soon. Have a glorious, blessed weekend. Bye-bye.
Feeling inspired, ready to train for life and love your journey? Visit createyournow.com for more incredible resources to help you along the way. We'll see you next time on Create Your Now, Your Best Selfie. And remember, always be sure you consult your physician before beginning any health and fitness plan.